In this digital age, where the world is at our fingertips, we're dreamers, we're believers, reaching for the stars, yeah. With AI by our side, possibilities endless and bright. There's a future full of promise and it's within our grasp. So let's embrace the power, the magic of AI. Oh, it's gonna make our lives so much better. Take it to the sky.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. My name's Ekello Harrid, and this is the Future Fiction Academy. I'm back, everyone. Welcome. I have had a wonderful time in the middle of Europe, the EU. I had a wonderful trip. I got to stay with what I now consider one of my very good friends, Olivia, and I'm telling you what, we had ourselves a blast hanging out with authors, watching the Paris Marathon, doing all kinds of interesting things. But that's not what we're doing today. Today, we are going to be going over all of those models over the past week that were released from OpenAI. Yes, we will be trying to figure out whether or not you can write with them. I know that for a fact that that's probably going to happen. But what I'd really like to do, you know what? I am going to futz with my exposure here. There we go. Not too bad. All right, that's better. And am I in focus? Let me just make sure. Yep, looks like I am now officially in the pocket. All right, let's check out and see who has joined us. 13 people already. Yeah, nice to have you all here. Nice to see you, Rochelle. Plumestone, always good to see you, Plumestone. Thank you for everybody who's wishing me well wishes on my trip back. Glad I did enjoy my trip. I definitely enjoyed my trip. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, yes. Paris was wonderful. But so was London, and so was Belgium, and basically, so was Holland. I got to go to Amsterdam for the first time, and I like that place. My wife put us in the Rembrandt district, if you know anything about Amsterdam, and we got lulled to sleep by partygoers all night long. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun and a lot of needed time away from all of this stuff. But just in case you're wondering, my name's Ekello Harrid, and yes, it does not say fiction engineer down there anymore. I am a published author. If you would like to get my book, it's on Amazon. Just look up my name and you'll find it. And I am very happy that I finally published a book. I am going to publish many, many more. And I'm looking forward to doing that. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you welcoming me home. And yeah, Plumestone, I know. Thank you. It's a big deal for me. I'm very happy. One of the things that I know, Elizabeth had a rule about people teaching at the academy, but I wouldn't have wanted to teach at the academy until I I'd actually publish something anyway. So I'm very happy that I get to graduate to teaching like actual big boy classes. Oh, and you know what? Let's finish off with this music as much as I'm enjoying it. And there we go. I was like, wait a minute, what is that in the background? But it's better than listening to them mow the lawn out there, which, by the way, is probably not actually they're probably not going to be mowing the lawn. But I have a sound suppression thing on here, so hopefully hopefully that'll work out. I'm not feeling perfect today. I would usually have a community class in a few hours, but after I get done with this, I'm going to see if I can meet with Elizabeth. And then I think I'm going to sleep for the rest of the day. I had to take tomorrow off from regular work at Starbucks because being in front of people and running around like that in that particular way is a little intense. Let's see here. Oh, thank you for looking up my book, Jess Mesha. I appreciate that. Yes, Belgium. We not only went to the Netherlands. We not only went to Belgium, but we went to Bruges, a little itty bitty like picturesque town, and it was seriously full of canals. So we went from one canal city, which is Amsterdam, to another canal city, which was Bruges. To well, let's just put it this way: London, River City; Amsterdam, Canal City; Bruges, Canal City; Paris, River City. And it was we rode up and down the river. I took so many photographs of the Eiffel Tower. It's ridiculous. Just in case any artificial intelligence ever gets that mistake, I say shame on them. Jet lag is a thing. Yeah, it is. I didn't get back yesterday. I took all of yesterday off. Usually I get 2 days because we come back on the weekend. I get 2 days to recover, and I went back to work after one day, and it was maybe a little bit of a mistake. And yes, I love Bruges. All the waffles and chocolate. The chocolate is ridiculous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what are we here today to talk about? Well, I've got myself a new little program called Exceladra. Okay, and I'm going to kind of try to use it to illustrate a few things about what we're dealing with right now in the world of open AI. What's really weird about it is OpenAI, they seem like they were seriously falling behind for, I don't know, for a long time. I have to say I was a little disappointed in their ability to code and all of those things, because I like vibe coding. Whenever I come up with an idea, I like to like spin it up and see if I like it, if I want to move on with it. It's kind of like writing a book, except it doesn't take as long as writing a book sometimes. Let me see here. Share my screen. And Excalibur draw. All right. Okay, so what I want to do is let's start out with one of these. And so OpenAI, let me just make sure I'm sharing this correctly. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to put myself down there. Actually, should I put my, nope, I'm going to put myself down there. Okay. All right. So let's say that this right here, okay, is OpenAI. And what have they been doing? What has OpenAI been doing? OpenAI has been building artificial intelligence for a while, about 10 years, right? And OpenAI is synonymous with AI acceleration. But they haven't really been that way, right? They haven't really been that way the whole time. Oh, why won't you? There we go. They haven't really been that way the whole time. They've kind of been falling behind people like Claude. Well, let's do this. Anthropic. And DeepSeek. And probably most importantly, Google. Now, the weird thing about this is let's call this kind of their barrier. Okay. So let's say this is their barrier. And these are their competitors. Well, what have their competitors been doing? Like in this time period of them basically twiddling their thumbs and not bringing out new models. Well, Anthropic, and how do I zoom in? Zoom. There we go. Let's see. Is there a shortcut? Zoom in, Command plus. Command plus. Okay, there we go. So Anthropic, over the past year, has come out with Claude 3.5, which was literally a revelation. They came out with Claude 3.5 new, or let's just call it 3.6 instead of that. It's just so asinine that they did that. And then they finished it all up with Claude 3.7. Now, please do not get me wrong. They are definitely these are definitely great models, and they have basically set the state of the art for coding, right? What else have they done? They have been extremely helpful when it comes to writing fiction. They are basically one of the premieres. And I'm telling you, when I started out with 3.7, it was glorious. Okay. So all of these came from Claude. Okay. All of these came from Claude. I mean, from Anthropic. And they've basically thrived. Each one of them have thrived. I personally love the way that this this series of models has worked. Now let's go over to DeepSeek. DeepSeek rocked the world. They rocked the world with V3. So DeepSeek V3. oops, not VV3, V3. And they also came out with DeepSeek R1, which is the actual the actual let me just write this DeepSeek R1. Excuse me. And that's their reasoning models. What is the significance of this? Why is this such a big deal? Why do we even care about a Chinese model that writes okay? Well, you know what? Oh, there we go. What the heck? You know what? It does write okay. It really does. DeepSeek V3. But R1 is dirt cheap. It is absolutely dirt cheap. That's the difference. Is that this not only does a good job of thinking about its problem and how to use and how to execute the problem and fix the problem or do anything. I've tested this particular model on actual writing, and it does all right writing. It does all right writing, but it does even better planning. So those are the two models that are really kind of the big, let's just call it competition, open source competition from OpenAI. I mean, from DeepSeek. This is their major. You would think it would be Llama, and I did not. And you'll notice I did not include Llama in any of this because for our purposes, it writes pretty crappy. It writes pretty daggone crappy. It's kind of odd that Meta has come out with a consistently bad product that only seems to work inside of their own products. I mean, people distill things and do things with it. Matter of fact, they even took DeepSeek and distilled a actual Llama DeepSeek Llama DeepSeek R1. It uses a Llama model and the DeepSeek techniques in order to create essentially a better Llama model, a model that actually thinks. And it's R1. So we have all of these really kind of open source solutions to the problem that is using AI cheaply. So that's great. But is this really competition? Is this actually really competition? Is this does it write really well? No. Llama DeepSeek R1 doesn't write really well. DeepSeek R1 doesn't write really well. DeepSeek V3 writes all right. They're fine. What it's really good at is planning out stuff, and on top of planning out stuff, it can write the actual reasoning model can write a pretty good pro. Now, let's give ourselves let's give ourselves a little more room. I'm going to move this kind of over here and move these more out of the way because we're about to start talking about Google. Now, I want you to, the reason I'm showing you all this is I need you to have context. I need you to understand this barrier, right? So think about the barrier. Think about this barrier that they have basically been so OpenAI comes out with their models first, and then this layer of competition starts to percolate because OpenAI is in the front. and it's a big deal. They are in the front. It's just for real. It's just a real thing. They have the mind share. They have all of that stuff. So what do they do? I mean, what would you do if you had this much competition coming at you this hard? Okay, how do I get rid of this? I want to let's just spread this out a little bit, and there we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. So now let's talk about Google. Google is the 800-pound gorilla. They really are. They've come out with so many models, but let's just concentrate on their latest and greatest models. They have a reasoning thinking version of Gemini Pro. Gemini Pro. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, wrong one. Gemini Pro 2.5. Okay. And Gemini Pro 2.5 thinking. Now, you want to hear something crazy about 2.5 thinking? Oh, what was that? There we go. Gemini Pro 2.5 thinking. Now, they have come out with tons and tons of models. Ooh. No, I don't want that one. Oh, how did I do that? Oh, no. How did I do that? Layers. Oh, crap. What in the world? Delete. Okay. Oh, there we go. At least I don't want stroke opacity 100. Crap. I'm in a bugaboo. Why am I in such a bugaboo? Somehow I screwed this up, and I don't even know how I did it. And anyway, so let's just let's do away with the boxes for now. All right, so we're at these two. Now, these are monsters. In the coding world, in the writing world, they are monsters. They work well. I don't know if you've tried this, but they work so well. It's ridiculous. And wow, what did I do? Wow. All right. If I do this, nope, this is not going to work anymore. Okay. So those two, this is the world that we live in. great models with an even kind of greater command, double click to press command, enter the edit points. Hold command and double click or press command plus enter to edit points. Command plus enter. There we go. Yeah, I can't seem to see. I don't know what that is. Okay. So this is our landscape. This is the barrier that they had to overcome. What's crazy to me is up until last last week, when I happened to see the project manager do a interview where he was incredibly confident that the models that they were about to come out with were going, if not already came out with by the time the podcast goes, that these are going to be the state of the art. So what did they do? Well, I don't know what in the world. I'm going to start up a new instance. I'm going to pick all of this stuff up. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. Okay. So here is what we have from OpenAI now. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to take all of this, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to start a new instance here. Save to this file. Documents, saving it. And I'm going to open up a save to current file, export. Huh. That's what I get for playing with this thing for the first time in front of everyone. I played with it before. I just don't know how in the world I could add an image right there. That's really cool. Okay. So now you have this illustration. You see where they the problems that they've had. They have had the worst combination of circumstances. They've had open source. They've had competition that literally was built. Let me see here. Whatever that is. What is that? You know what? Let's see. Let's delete that. And if I... Nope. It's gone. I cannot seem to get that back. There it is. And delete. Okay. So what I want to do is show you the pricing. Let me get the pricing up from OpenAI. Now, this is OpenAI has had a lot of opportunity and a lot of money to build these things with. They started out with 4.0 mini. I'm going to go to My GPT's custom get extensions. Nope. I'm gonna go open. Sorry, everyone. I'm actually having to pivot slightly on the fly. GPT API login API and all right. Sorry, everyone. At Gmail. I will have to make sure I do another tutorial on this before I use it again. Gotcha. Okay, and I should get an email on my Ekello Photo Gmail here in a second. Popeyes, come on. Ekello Photo. Ekello Photo. OpenAI authentication code. And we'll go. Okay, and I'm in. Nine oh two 687. Where are you? Resend. Man. I guess I'm just out of practice. My bad, everyone. I'm glad I'm doing this today before we have a live stream tomorrow night. 892 36. Okay, what the hey? No. 1232. Oh. Dear goodness. All right. There we go. Finally. Upstream. I could disconnect before headers. Reset reason remote. There we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that it took so long to come up with that. But here are three brand spanking new models. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pricing. And we're going to zoom in. Not that much. My goodness. There we go. And you'll see that this is our latest models. New save on synchronous requests with flex processing available for select models. I don't know what that means, but here's the pricing. For input output, let me see here. Is it price per 1 million tokens? Okay. So GPT-4.1, $2 input, cashed output, cashed input is 50 cents, and output is $8. That's and all of these are price per million. 4.10 mini and nano are considerably cheaper. Actually, considerably cheaper. Little dog, I am in the middle of a live stream. You cannot bug me right now. And She is like, I want you to take me out. I am not taking you out right now. Now let's look at it in comparison, 4.1 in comparison with 4.0. You'll see here inputs $2, 4.0 is $2.50. So we are saving money, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like $1.25 for cached input and 50 cents. So 0.1 is considerably cheaper. And it looks like 4.0 is $10 and they saved us a couple of bucks on the output. But that's not all. We have 0.3, which is our 416 model. This one is $10 input, cached input's $2.50, and output is $40. Okay, that's pretty expensive. But if you think that's expensive, 0.1 and 0.1 Pro are considerably more expensive. 0.1 Pro doesn't even have a number for their cached output. That's how expensive it is. So we have some real-time previews and blah, blah, blah. But as you can see, and here's 4.0 Mini. Now look at that price. 4.0 Mini. This is a thinking model, is only $1 for 1 million tokens output. What, 27 cents? 27 cents, 50 for cached input. So the first one's input, the second one's input. But look at the difference in price compared to it looks like even compared to 0.3 Mini, which was very much, I mean, remember, these are thinking models, and I have tested them, and it's pretty cool. Daisy, that is not happening, little dog. You're not going out. Go, go, go. We have puppy pads just for these reasons. Old lady. Old lady dog. Okay. And you can just see that that 0.4 is going to be my go-to. Oh my gosh, look how much cheaper than 0.1 it is. And was there an 0.1 Mini? I don't think there was. There's obviously a 3.0 Mini, which is older. And I don't think and it's still cheaper, which is crazy to me. Now, have any of you had an opportunity to actually test it out? That's the key. And so what I did this morning was I played around with 4.1. I played with Nano, Mini, and 4.0. And there are some quirky things about 4.1 because that's the model that let's remember 4.1 is $2, 50 cents, and $8. And then 4.1 Mini is considerably cheaper. And it doesn't write badly, but this Nano model is dirt cheap. And if you can get it to consistently output something, it would be cool. But what I have kind of experienced is that these three models are not equal. So I obviously don't have any I have, all right, so here was the idea. I took my bootstrap script outline, excuse me. I took my bootstrap outline and I took this and I made it kind of into a test bed. So I wanted it to to take the information from chapter 2 on the open active document, and I wanted to see what it would do. So let's read the first paragraph of the I kind of easy peasy book machined it a little. Not a lot, just a little itty bitty bit. So chapter 1, Ghosts and Goodbyes, Reginald's Funeral. The air inside the modest church was heavy with silence. Walls painted in muted, peeling white reflected the faint glow of a few flickering fluorescent bulbs suspended from the ceiling. A faint dampness clung to the air, mingling with the scent of old wood wax and lingering aroma of leather-bound hymnals. The congregation was small, family, neighbors, a handful of friends gathering quietly beneath battered oak pews. Beneath battered oak pews. That doesn't make any sense. You don't gather beneath, you sit on a pew. At least that's the way I've always perceived it. Their faces drawn into solemn expressions. The slow, mournful chords of the organ filled the space, a hymn that seemed both comforting and painfully distant. Keenan, I'm not going to do that. So that's the first paragraph. And then I had it. I said, sorry about that. Just making sure my dog wasn't trying to do anything she wasn't supposed to be doing. I said, show me things happening. Show me things happening. Don't just tell me. Write it again. Certainly. Here's a more dynamic, action-driven rendition of chapter 2. The faint hum of the organ echoed through the small, aging church. The paint peeled in jagged strips from the wooden walls, and drops of condensation gathered in the windows, blurring the mourners gathered inside. Outside, a light rain tapped against the cracked stone steps, the air thick with dampness and quiet sorrow. Oh, that's nice. A crowd had gathered, but it felt small, intimate. Perhaps a few neighbors. It felt small, intimate, perhaps. A few neighbors, close family, and the few remaining friends of Reginald. They stood in silence, eyes fixed on the simple wooden casket draped in a faded American flag at the front, as the chorus of the organ slowed into a somber, echoing note. Now, that's pretty good. And that was Nano. That was Nano. That's the smallest model. It looked at everything, and it kind of really nailed what it was supposed to. Did I? Yep. And got to the end. Then I moved up the chain. Spent a little more money. Okay. I said, tell me about chapter 2. It told me about chapter 2. I told it to write chapter 2. So it said, okay, certainly I'll write chapter 2. Just a second, everyone. Sorry about that. Here's chapter 2 from Minnie's point of view. A little bit better. A little bit larger model. The church was small and weathered, with peeling white paint flaking like old paper under the heat. The streaks of sunlight slanted through stained glass windows, casting fractured rainbows into the cracked hardwood floor. The scent of damp wood mingled with the faint aroma of wilted flowers and burning candles. Soft organ chords echoed in the ceiling. Echoed in the high ceiling, filling the room's hush with a somber grace. All right. So then I said, give me a detailed plan to fix what you just wrote. Said, certainly. And then it gave me a very, what I would consider, 8-step plan with a bit of a summary of what it wanted to do. And I said, follow the plan plus more dialogue, rewrite chapter 2. Let's read the first paragraph. The old church exhaled a scent of smoke. Exhaled. The old church exhaled a scent of smoke, tinged candle wax, damp wood, and something faint and earthy. Maybe the memory of Reginald's pipe tobacco clinging to the pews. Dust hung in lazy swirls in the shafts of waning sun slicing through the stained glass panes. Every color fractured the air in shimmering shards, ruby reds, emerald greens, sapphire blues, all weaving a silent tapestry for the gathering below. That's I liked it. But who am I? Just a published author. That's pretty good. And if I'm not mistaken, it goes to the end. Now, the Nanos chapter was too short. Minnie's chapter was a little too short. But when I did 4.0 proper, right, it gave me a comprehensive overview of what chapter 2 was. And then it started writing chapter 2. Here is the first example from the big one, the one that costs the most money. The sultry hush of an Atlanta summer pressed against the old church's stained glass. Beneath a slate sky, rain ticked against the faded red doors, seeping the scent of wet asphalt and tired lilies into the sanctuary. Keenan shifted in the wooden pews, hands folded tight. See, this is an interesting change. It moved Keenan from the second paragraph to the first paragraph. A very strategic thing that it did. This is the first version of it, so we'll see what it looked like in the second. Keenan shifted in the wooden pew, hand folded tight, sweat slick on his palms beneath cuffed sleeves. The battered spines of hymnals and rows of worn faces, somber, expectant, reminded him of every family funeral he ducked or dodged, all converging at this one. That's pretty good right there. Up front, flanked by half-wilted bouquets, Reginald's casket waited on its wooden trestles. Army medals fastened to the velvet drape winked in the washed-out light. Beside them, a yellowed photograph. Reginald, all clean jaw and fierce eyes in a crisp uniform, stared out, younger than anyone Keenan had ever known. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, when I asked it to give me a comprehensive plan to rewrite this, it gave me probably the most comprehensive. It gave me subsections, it gave me full sections, and it gave me up to, 6, 7, 8 different things that would, just like the last time. I wonder if that's hard coded in. And I said I wanted 2,000 words. Rewrite with more dialogue and follow the plan, 2,000 words. The sky hung low and tarnished, leaking a steady, half-hearted rain over the neighborhood, painting the cracked walkways in glistening patches. Keenan shifted his weight on the church steps and tried to ignore the damp itch crawling up his starched cuffs. Oh, that's great feeling, the feeling of actual things on your skin. The church doors, once cardinal red, now flaked paint in tired curls. Their hinges groaned as another mourner hurried inside, the rush of wet air trailing after. He paused beneath the awning. The rain, the rain stippling cold against his collarbone, and watched as Nicole corralled her youngest towards the entrance with a gentle, harried hand. The kid's shoes squelched. Nicole's eyes caught his, steady, unreadable. The way she looked whenever she didn't want to say what she, whenever she, oh man, I messed that up. The way she looked whenever she didn't want to say she needed help. Oh, this is pretty good. So this is what we would, as you know, they came, I was going to do a little more diagramming earlier. They came out with 4.5, and 4.5 is expensive, super expensive. It's incredibly expensive. All right, let's see here. So we don't use it. At least I don't use it. Not in Plot Drive. It is, let me illustrate to you how expensive 4.5 is. Let me find it. Oh wow, they don't even list it in the common models, do they? There it is. All right. Prepare to be shocked. I mean, actually shocked. Here's 4.5. Here's 4.1. 4.1, $258. 4.5. 4.5 right there. Okay. Is $75, $37.50, and $150. Now, don't get me wrong. This thing